What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I got my first update on my next project, and of course we are NASCAR. I'm in some kind of weird NASCAR mood. I think ever since I went to Pinocchio Raceway in Pennsylvania, me, my brother, and a few of our friends camped inside the actual racetrack for the whole weekend, and I think that kind of got to me because that was the most coolest thing I've ever done for a NASCAR. So I think ever since I did that, I'm just in some kind of weird NASCAR mood. So I figured let's do another NASCAR for the NASCAR group build that Jeff and Fred Henry are hosting until November, I believe. And that's for the whole NASCAR season. So this is an older Revell monogram kit. This one is a particularly 1999 Ford Taurus. I say particularly 1999 because the decal sheet that I'm using is from 1999. They used this body style from 1998 through 1999, I believe. But they also changed this body style in middle of a season, if not but later in the season, to a newer Ford Taurus body style. So, but this particular one is 1999, so we'll see that. But I'll show you guys why here in a sec. But I got everything pretty much all mocked up and pretty much all ready for a primer at this point. That's the way I want to go. So for this one, I am going to be doing quite a bit of detailing in the engine bay and interior. So I'm not going to go as much as detail as by cutting out these flaps. I'm not going to be doing that detail, but I do want to do very detailed engine bay and interior and stuff. So of course, with these NASCARs, they all have braided hoses. So we'll be using some Model Master braided lines. I got tons of this stuff. I think I got like a big deal on it on eBay or something. So I got a whole bunch of different sizes. It's literally the same stuff as ProTech. So, but we'll be using a bunch of braided lines. I think we'll be using this size right here. This size is a bit kind of skinny, but we'll see. Certain areas, some hoses are smaller than others. But we'll be using braided lines, of course. And then with that, you might see some 3D printed parts. This is the only 3D printed part that I'm using on this kit. And it's addition. It's an add-on. And these are hose connections for the braided lines. So, very cool. It's a 0.6 millimeter width, which is perfect. So, we got a bunch of different ones. We got 90 degrees. We got like 80 degrees, full 160 degrees or whatever. So these are connectors for the hoses, which is pretty cool. So I found these on Codes 3D. The file was like only like $1 or $2, and you get all this. You can either put them separately or put them in a bulk like this. This is a 10 pack. So this is why I did it, because these parts are very small. So, but very cool. So we'll be painting those like aluminum, and then the tips where the screws go, make the tips, are originally like a clear red or clear blue. Not clear, but like a candy blue or candy red. So it stands out. So when a pit crew is working on the car, they can easily see the screws if they have to access them. So, but that's pretty cool. So we'll be painting those all aluminum. Then we'll be doing those colors on the tips. Let's go ahead and move on to the engine plant. This is a beautiful engine. I still gotta do some more sanding on the transmission, get that seam line out of there. But other than that, that's not too big a deal. Again, wiring, I'm gonna be wiring the heck out of this engine. I'll be using a wire distributor. This kit actually has a wired or distributor that is pre-wired from the kit, which is pretty cool, and it goes to here. So that's actually pretty cool. I've never seen it before, but I'm not gonna be using that. I kind of want to use actual hose or lines. So we'll be using one of my 3D printed distributors. So pretty cool. So we will be putting that in there. So I do have to drill out this tip where the old one goes and just drill in the hole so my new one can go in there, and then all that fun stuff. And we'll be putting some plugs on there. Then yeah, so very cool. So the engine pretty detailed. And then yeah, so that's be very cool. So I can't wait to see how that wires up. Let's move on to the wheels and tire package. And these are from the kit. I post these on Facebook, and some guys said, "Are those resin wheels and tires?" And I said, "No, these are actually from the kit." And once he said that, I kind of got me thinking. I was like, "Wow, yeah, these things do look amazing." So these are the kit wheels and tires. They are very hard vinyl tires, so they're very hard, so don't glue them together, the back halves on the fronts, because it may be impossible to get them through. But very nice. The tires needed quite a bit of cleanup. I mean, there was a huge seam line down the middle, and then those are, don't sand those out, those are the numbers for the tire code, or the tire number, whatever the heck it is. But I sanded them just a tad bit more because they were kind of raised up pretty high, so I sanded them down with 600 grit sandpaper, or with my Dremel, and then just sand it down just a tad bit so it's not as raised, because the real NASCAR tires aren't raised that high. So, but we got those going, and then of course we got some decals for them. Power Slide from 1992 to 2004, Goodyear Eagle tires, and these are the correct year. This is 1999, so perfect. So those are the tire decals, and then we got, you know, right rears, right fronts, left fronts, you know, all that fun stuff in yellow or white. Then your numbers, you know, you can choose what pack, like pack number 4, 5, 6, or whatever. Or there's not 6 on there, but you know, but very cool. So we got those going. So very cool. Love these tires. Wheels and tire package this kit comes with. Let's move on to the interior, kinda. Dashboard, very cool dashboard. So this kit does not come with any gauge cluster decals. So I am going to be using the aftermarket decal sheet, just have you know, because the decal sheet that comes in this kit again, this kit's pretty old. It's a 1995 issue, so the decals are pretty yellow. But I am going to be using the same paint or same scheme, you want to call it, but a little bit different. But so since neither of the decals came with gauge cluster, again, Power Slide, they do sell gauge cluster decals for these type of NASCARs. So very cool, and look how nice those are. So very cool. So Power Slide, they're mainly known for NASCAR decals, and they work with, you know, JR models, some JR models, and they're just amazing decals to work with. So they're not too thin, where they break on you, or too thick, where they crack and hard to form, where it takes a gallon micro saw to form them. So, but very cool. I love Power Slide. So we got those two going for the tires and gauge cluster. Let's move on to this assembly bad boy. We'll get these out of the way, and you see how it just clicks in. I mean, this whole setup just it fits amazing. So, but we'll go ahead and just take it out, and that's the bottom side. Pops right out. So here is the interior slash chassis. So this will be painted all like a grayish, like a light gray, kind of whitish color. More like a grayish, kind of like a primer gray, you want to call it. So we'll be doing that. So I did assemble some of the roll cage, not all of it, because obviously I don't want the top on there and stuff, because I did have my fingers in there to put the seat in. And again, I do want to do wiring and hosing in here. So obviously for the oil, engine oil back here and stuff, or whatever the heck that is. I think it's some kind of oil thing right there that goes back here to the firewall. So I have to do some plumbing and wiring in the engine bay, or in the interior, my bad. Then obviously I do some hose for the firewall, because there are some wires that goes in through the firewall to the interior. So didn't assemble all the roll cage, but most of it is there, the sides and the back, and then this guy back here. So I left the petty bar out. So just in case you're wondering, this is the petty bar. It just goes back here, then it goes through the firewall right there. I'll show you. Goes through the firewall and it connects to the frame. Just gives it that extra support. And that's pretty cool. They named it after Richard Petty, because they call it a petty bar. So very cool. And then obviously you got the top bar. It goes up here somehow. So, but other than that, very nice detailed interior. And we'll show you the copyright 1995. Yep. So very cool. Then of course these older Revell monogram kits are so nicely detailed. They even go as detailed as by putting in the hoses for the back window to go to the rear brakes. And I believe this one goes to the interior to cool down the driver. That is so cool, because that's how these older NASCARs are, because they didn't have any real ventilation as the modern ones have. Modern ones have like windows cut out for the vent for the driver and stuff. But obviously for the older ones, they had a tube that goes to the back window, runs to the front, and it just blows onto the driver's body. So very cool. So we got that assembled. So there's that. And then let's move on to the body. The last thing we'll be showing you. That's kind of interesting. Here is the Ford Taurus body. So again, like I said, 1998 through 1999, I believe they used this particular body style. So it was only used for a year and a half, you want to call it, because they switched it out in 1999 again to a newer Taurus body style. But this is a very cool body style. It's pretty unique. The spoiler is molded on, but not too big a deal because that's actually body color, the version that I'm doing. And you got these guys up here. Again, these are also body color. Nowadays, these are black on all cars, but this is body color. So version that I'm doing is going to be all body color. So no two-tone painting on this one because the rest is all decals. So very cool. So you get the bottom grille. I might keep the bottom grille mode on because I'll show you why in the decal sheet. But on the real car, I believe obviously the small one or bottom one is functional, and the top one I think is just a decal. So I don't think that's functional. But you can correct me if you know NASCAR more than me. But definitely on the real ones, like the modern ones, the small one, or the big one down here is functional, and then the grills up here are fake, obviously. But very cool body style. I do have to get those pin marks out there because obviously the headliner will be shown. So the interior, this whole inside will be that grayish color, that grayish whitish color. So I do have a mask out. Whatever I do first, I might just do the interior first. I'm not sure. Then paint that in there and just mask off the windows. Then paint my body color because obviously in the fender wells and here and stuff is just to keep it the grayish, whatever heck color it is, and they wrap it. So, but without further ado, what decal sheet am I be using? Well, the version this kit is a Cartoon Network, is the red one. But again, the decals are pretty yellow and I don't want to feel like messing with them. So Power Slide, they make a replacement of another Cartoon Network decal or live you want to call it. So this is a very cool decal sheet, and Power Slide, of course. So obviously your headlight, your main headlight, and those are your fog lights. I'm not really sure what the Taurus headlights are, but those are those. There's the bottom grille. So I said I might just keep that mold in because I do want that yellow on there. It's pretty neat. And your top grille, again, I believe that top grille is fake. And you get your Taurus logo forward and all your nice little sponsors. Goodyear, that goes on the fender right there. Then you get your wheel directional arrows, so that goes on the wheels. You got 4 of them, well, 2 on each wheel. So, and you get your hood pins. So very cool. So we'll be doing a Cartoon Network, and the Cartoon Network is just such a classic TV station, and I used to watch it all the time when I was younger. I mean, it still is a thing today, and it's crazy. I believe Cartoon Network, they came about in 1991. And this car is 1999, so within like almost 10 years they sponsored a NASCAR. So, and 1999, so that's the version, that's the year they used this livery. So very cool. And then for the body color, it's yellow on the real car, but the decal was here. It is like a yellowish oranges, so the actual car is actually lighter than the decal. So this is so shown. So the closest that I found is Splash Paints Racing Yellow. So that will be the whole body color. Then this is obviously still lighter than this, so this decal can still stand out, and back here as well. So that's what we'll be using for the whole body. So no two-tone painting on this one. This is just one solid color, and then the decals take care of the rest, which is pretty cool. And obviously the hood, all that fun stuff. So very, very neat. But other than that, guys, that's it for this update. Just want to show you where I'm at and show you what my next build is. NASCARs, I'm just really into it, so I have a whole bunch of my stash. So I figured let's just bake one out and do another one before the group build ends. But very cool, so I can't wait to see how this turns out. And very cool paint scheme. Cartoon Network, probably one of my favorite TV stations when I was younger. So I haven't watched it. I don't know when is the last time I clicked on the station, but I'm sure there's some weird ass cartoons on there now that I don't even know. But alright, guys, that's it for this video. But until my next video, I'll catch you next time. Take it easy.